pack mine? Oh. This was a rough night, folks. So, we're out exploring today. We're doing something a little bit different. Not gonna lie, my pack is heavy. But we still have a bit of snow here. Some spots it looks like at least 2 or 3 feet. And we're coming out with just a tarp, which we love camping under just a tarp, but we're also doing something, well, some people might call it stupid, but it's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. So we're nearing a spot we're pretty familiar with. It's one of the many gems we've found over the years exploring this property, where we've camped out here quite a bit. It's one of the few hardwood stands on the property. It's full of youngish maples and some pretty big birch, and we found some really nice camp spots here before. We always try to find something new and different, but worst comes to worst, we can always go and check those out. Oh, this is pretty good too.
You know, there's more than one spot in this 100 acres, right? Yeah. There's like probably 1,000, so you're just gonna have to pick one.
Oh, I have to pick it. Oh,
yeah.
I was waiting for you to make a decision.
You're picking it.
I'm picking it? Okay. But what if there's something better?
There's always going to be something better.
Well, if anybody recognizes this spot, that means you've been with us for a while and have watched a lot of our videos. And for that, I say thank you. Actually, Sandra still has a backpack holder left here. You know what? This is a pretty good spot. What do you think? You want to relive old memories or make new ones?
Well, I love this spot. Whatever you decide.
All right, Sandra loves the spot. That's enough confirmation for me. We're going to set up here. This is going to be home. She's holding pretty good.
Yeah, if you could lift on it for me, it would help though.
Well, I got my own thing going. Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, perfect. Perfect.
Well.
Are you going to make one of those or?
No.
No?
But as is tradition, once we have our camp decided on, we set up chairs and we have a celebratory beverage. Judge me, I don't care. Oh, we forgot our...
Not me. It's packed in my bag.
Did you pack mine?
No.
Oh.
I didn't pack mine. I packed mine once I tried it.
We have well, we bought new supports for the chair so they don't sink into sand or snow. And I guess we got the perfect situation to show you what it looks like with and without.
Where are we sitting?
Right where my chair is.
By the crooked tree?
So as you guys can see, Sandra has this little chair hammock there.
Chair hammock.
It's pretty neat. We didn't get the Helinox brand. We just got it on Amazon, and we got 2 of them for 24 bucks, something like that.
Yeah.
So this is our first time really trying it out. I, of course, no surprise, forgot it.
So I guess it's my first time trying it out.
So this is what happens without it. Oh, man, I don't want to fall.
Well, you should take your snowshoes off, I think.
Yeah, it's... Okay. Alright, I might be holding here. Okay. So that's what happens there. Sandra, you want to try yours? See what the difference is? See if it works. It seems to be working.
Yep.
So, I guess I'll have to improvise.
So,
there!
you're sitting in the basement, and I'm sitting on the first floor?
Yeah, but look. Where there's a will. Oh no, I put my beer too far away.
Is your butt wet?
Nope.
No?
Not yet. So, as is tradition, before we start working on camp, we give Sandra the first drink.
Yes. I've got you trained.
So we're just going to enjoy this, and once we're done... Oh, sorry for the chainsaw noises. Neighbor is working on their woodlot, so they're totally their prerogative. But I'm sure that'll go away throughout the day. So we're just going to enjoy our beer, and then we'll start getting to work on setting up camp, and maybe talk a little bit about what our plans are for this trip.
Here, I'll put it down in the basement.
Thank you. Top floor people, that's so snobby.
It's like you're living under the stairs.
Always looking down on us little people. Well, that was pretty delicious. Shocking. So, the one disadvantage about setting up camp there is because we've camped here before, which means I might have to go a little bit further afield to get firewood. Now, hardwood will burn a lot better than softwood. However, the softwood is actually easier to gather because any of the smaller trees that can't compete with the big tall ones will often die off, and since they're already dead, tend to be drier. Also, we've had a lot of rain lately, so any kind of hardwood, even dead standing hardwood, is going to be a little bit wet. So I'm going to concentrate more on softwood on this trip, and gonna need a lot, and luckily it's not too hard to find on this property. As you guys can see these smaller trees, they just can't compete. Once they lose the race, they die off. There we go. I need a saw. So for the people who accuse me of killing trees all the time, it's dead. I know it's the minority, but I don't know why. It sticks with me whenever I see that. It's most of the time said as an accusation, not as a question. Anyway, we keep going. think there's a Sandra in the distance. I think there's a Sandra in the distance.
There is.
So, I've made the mistake many times of trying to save trips and trying to carry everything at once. It just ends up being a cluster that takes 3 times longer. So, I'm going to take a couple at a time and do multiple trips. Maybe we can do 3. Might be pushing it already. There you go. We got 6 smallish trees. That'll be a good start. We're gonna need more than likely, but I honestly don't know how much because of our plan for tonight.
Well, I think it's always better to have more than not enough.
I agree.
In case our plan fails, then we need to
adapt. Yeah, it's true. All right, not a bad start though. That didn't take too long, which is good because we got a lot more to do. Question for you, Sandra. How would you like to do some shoveling?
I would love to do some shoveling.
I know you're better at this than me, but I've kind of tamped down a little spot there.
Yeah.
And if you want to make it as flat as you like, I'm not fussy, so whichever way you like to do that. I'm going to go get some more firewood. We're going to have a lot of wood to cut.
That's okay. It'll keep us warm. I need guidance.
Do you?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I just want to make sure I'm okay here.
I didn't. Yeah, you can probably go like up to here.
Like if I would take.
Yeah.
That?
Yeah, that's perfect.
So how
You
far?
can round it out if you want. I mean, we'll see how it goes. If we need more, there's plenty more.
Yep.
White spruce is not the best wood, but man, it's easy to gather.
Mm. Are you scared?
Yes. I'm scared to do this.
Yeah. By the way, that was mine. And so's the other hole.
Right there. Okay, so we got to get the tarp and get that set up, so that'll give us an idea exactly where we're setting up our bed and how we're going to continue building up our little sleep area. here. So we're just building up some sidewalls to keep the heat that we're going to build off our fire as long as we can, and to cut out any wind. Although they're not calling for a lot of wind, I think this will benefit us in keeping the heat inside our shelter. Nice block, Sandra. So as you guys can see, Sandra's handing me perfect squares here.
Too big?
No, it'll be okay.
We could put one here, going like that, and then you can put the...
And they're locking in really nicely. And it's easy for me to block out any holes, so this is going to work out pretty good for us, I
to
think.
do one like that?
Yeah, that's good. That's perfect. It's almost like we know what we're doing by accident.
Well, it is our second time here.
Yeah, but still, this is pretty good. Oh! What did you do? I guess I'm not as good as I thought I was. Well, it's better it falls now than when we're sleeping. This thing's doing.
Heavy one I'm holding.
Yeah. Honestly, I hadn't planned on building a wall this trip, but it just seems to make sense in order to keep the heat in. So this is the Winnerwell titanium foldable stove. This was given to me by Winnerwell with the expectations that I would make a video for them to promote the stove, which I did do earlier this winter. I did a solo trip inside the Snow Trekker hot tent, and I was quite pleased with it at the time, but ever since I got it, this was what I wanted to do with the stove. Now, there's no extra agreement with Winnerwell regarding this. I'm doing this on my own accord, and I don't make any money from Winnerwell by continuously using the stove. But I wanted to try this out as an accompaniment to a tarp type shelter, or a minimalist type shelter. The reason being is this stove is incredibly light. And a lot of the time when you're out camping, doing this kind of camping, when you do a fire outside, it works out pretty good. It's a lot of fun. But you have to get a ton of firewood. Because it's open air, the wood burns away really, really quickly. And you need to have a pretty decent sized fire in order to keep some heat. So you're spending most of your trip just processing firewood. So my thought was having a stove this light that I can carry along with me. Obviously not ideal when you're carrying a lot of weight, but it's incredibly light for what it is. And I want to see how much wood we're going to go through. At the beginning of this setup, it will burn quite a bit because I'm leaving the top open because we're going to use it as a bit of a fire pit. So not really going to prove the concept that I have in my mind. But when we go to bed, we're going to close it up. We're going to keep it close to us where we're sleeping. Hopefully it'll generate some heat in there so we're nice and comfortable and keep that dampness off of us. And hopefully will help us manage the firewood so it doesn't burn as much as an open fire pit. So I'm looking forward to this. There you go. It's already had that one burn like I mentioned, so it has changed color. Kind of a nice color if you ask me. So this is the top section that we're not going to be using for the initial setup here because we want to use it as a fire pit because we're going to be cooking on it as well. So. So it's got these little brackets that lock in. There we go, there's your basic setup for the way we want to set it up initially, because we want to have it open at the top. Hey, so I got a bunch of birch bark from a birch tree nearby. Only peeled out what was hanging off. And we're going to try out these matches. I think they got wet once, so hopefully I don't have too much of a struggle getting this fire started. That should work out. I'm going to go start gathering some bigger pieces of wood to keep the fire going. I had brought this fat wood with me in case there was any issues getting the fire started, but things seem to be working pretty good so far. So we're going to save this for whenever conditions require it. Well, there we go. Didn't even need to use the fat wood that I brought. So surprise! It's been really wet lately with the snow melting and a lot of rain. But I think we're going to find as we get closer to the base of the trees, they're going to be a bit wetter. So we got to make sure we got a nice little bed of coals. But this is working out great. My pants there are already steaming, which is great because they got a bit wet from building that snow wall. All in all, we got fire, Sandra.
Awesome. We got fire. That means we're going to be warm and toasty.
Yeah.
And we get to have supper.
That's the most important. So yeah, this is working out great. Didn't need to put a lot of sticks in there, and it's keeping everything nice there and all contained. It's great. It's a bit bulky to carry because of the pack size, but it's so light that I know my backpack, I said at the beginning, was super heavy, and this does add some weight, but for what it is, it doesn't add a whole bunch. So I'm pretty excited to try this out. This is kind of what played in my mind when I was first offered this product, and when I got it and I realized how light it was, I definitely had to get this done at least once this winter. So I'm glad we got this opportunity to come out. This is great. Oh, you gotta sit by the fire center. It's really
I am.
nice.
I was waiting for you to finish.
Never stay away from the fire.
I didn't want to cut into your steel.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's good.
Here, let me move so you can get some of that smokeless heat. There, you can move there.
Oh, maybe it's just gonna go there now.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, me too.
I gotta say, when you said you wanted to do this, I thought, well, you know, I can't see it's gonna be as hot as a fire, like an actual outdoor fire, but it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Maybe even more so because we can get right close to it.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, this is not from this fire. This is from we spent the night in a hot tent with some friends, and they had a big old stove that was really pumping some heat, and I never even touched the stove. I was just reaching out to grab some wood next to the stove, and my beloved jacket melted. But it still works.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just more waterproof now.
Yeah. This is a sacrifice I made to build our snow wall. I did bring another pair of gloves, because you should always have more than one. And as soon as I stepped out of the truck when we got here, they dropped in a mud puddle. So this is my only pair.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well,
I usually bring like 2 or 3, but
you
I only brought 2 this time.
I got the big winter one if something happens. It's not gonna work.
It
Got a glove stuck in it.
worked on the other one. No, I got your stuck. Oops. I'm not a smart man. There we go. Dry. So the other thing that came with the Winnerwell stove is this grill. It came in this little sleeve here. This is an accessory. It's an add-on, but Winnerwell provided it to us, so big thank you to them. There we go. So just gonna let the flames die down a little bit, and we're gonna throw on our supper.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
I'm sure it will. Has it ever not been good cooking outside?
That's a huge steak. Look at that.
That is a huge steak. Do you want me to char yours up a bit?
I want mine cooked.
It's cooked, but do you want it charred? One steak for Sandra. Piping hot. No, a lot of people dislike watching people eating, but some people do like it. So we figure we'll show you the first bite, at least.
My knife just slid through that like butter.
has a nice pinkish hue. You probably can't see it from there, but it's nice and juicy on the inside.
So is mine. It's not overdone.
No? Good. Oh yeah, nice. Lovely. Right.
So
that's all we'll make you suffer through. Yes?
Bringing the heavy packs in wasn't that bad now, huh?
Not anymore, no. The temperatures are dropping. I'm probably going to go and put on some extra layers. We had a really beautiful day today, and I was just wearing a sweater right now. I only have a rain jacket over to that sweater, so I'm going to add some layers. I'm not sure how well our wood is going to do overnight. The smaller stuff burns pretty good, and that was up high on the tree, but anything, as I said a couple of times before, everything that's getting closer to the base is fairly wet, so don't know how successful we are going to be at keeping that fire going all night unless I really keep tabs on it, and I really don't want to get up every hour. So we'll see how it plays out. We have our winter sleeping bag, so we're going to be fine. The only thing is that overnight it's supposed to turn to snow and a mix of rain and snow, and that mix is arguably more dangerous
than a snowstorm.
Not just a snowstorm, but then -20. So we have to make sure that we can keep things nice and dry. So I'll definitely be keeping tabs on everything. I mean, we got our tarp set up pretty good. We got some nice set of walls here. I mean, we have some gaps, but I never expected to do a wall in the first place. So this is just a bonus just to keep some of that heat. If we want to, we can kind of plug up those holes. But for the most part, I think we're going to stick around the fire and stay warm because, like I said, I'm feeling a chill. We have a lot of wood to process there, so we're going to be probably spending 45 minutes to an hour just processing wood.
And that'll warm us up.
That will for sure. So for now, though, going to digest a bit. That was really good. Sorry for all the blah blah. But, yeah, we're having a great old time. Clear blue sky. Clouds are starting to roll in. But for now, we'll just sit back and might turn on the camera once we decide to tackle that wood pile. There we go. Added an under layer right here and fleece. That does a world of difference. So even as the winter season dies down, always bring extra layers if you can. Oh, it feels good. You can get a heavier duty toque.
If only you had brought a good second pair of gloves.
I did. I dropped them in the mud. Thoughts on the stove for tarp camping?
Yeah, it's working great. No complaints. I was scared it wouldn't give as much heat, but it's the same as a fire pit right now.
Yeah.
Is basically what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would do once you put the cover on, but probably wouldn't be as hot. Yeah.
Probably won't, but the fire will keep going longer. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna make much of an impact. It's a bit too chilly out, but still, it's nice to be out.
Yeah, just sitting here in the dark with the barred owls cooing in the back. Can't complain.
Yeah.
Our buddy never showed up again, but we can hear them.
Yeah. And beyond the lighted trees immediately in front of us is just darkness and trees. And a lot of peace and quiet. Well, folks, it's getting late. We're just setting up our sleeping bag. Spend the night. What a fun adventure this was. The stove has worked out really, really good. My plan, though, for using it overnight, probably not gonna work out like I had hoped. I overestimated how big this tarp was. My plan was to have the stove underneath the tarp and then the chimney coming out with an elbow. And so the heat coming off the stove, some of it would get trapped here. Most of it would escape, but some of it would get trapped and would give us some nice warmth in there. But there's no way. It won't fit. So I'm still going to try to do it just to keep the stove going. Just to have nice hot coffee first thing in the morning. But it might not work out. So with that being said, if I don't keep the stove going all night, tomorrow morning could be a quick escape from here.
I'm going to do a quick escape right now.
The reason being is that the weather is turning sour probably pretty soon. We're supposed to turn to snow, and then snow mixed with rain, and rain later on Sunday morning. So to try to avoid getting most of our gear wet, we're probably going to escape here pretty quick. Alright, so before we shut everything down for the night, we thought we'd have a little chit chat. Like I said earlier, the Winnerwell foldable stove there's been great. Is it worth carrying it in? Now my backpack was quite heavy, and I have to say yes, it is worth carrying this in. The reason being is we've done tarp camping before, and hot tent camping or cold tent camping, and whenever you build a fire outside, you need a lot of firewood.
Yeah.
We're cutting wood for most of the time we're here, and in this particular trip, I just went out in the woods and I grabbed a bunch. I did a couple of trips, but nowhere near as much as we usually carry, and it's been great. We were able to cook directly on it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
With the grill, so that worked out pretty good. And also, able to sit close to it, because it kind of deflects most of the sparks going around. And the heat it generated was fantastic.
And the wood burnt really well too, even though it wasn't super dry. Like it just keeps all the heat in there and it dries the wood up.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of people try to minimize the weight of their packs. I totally understand. I never really think of it that way too much when it comes to winter camping. I don't tend to do long winter camping trips, so I know that I'm going to be carrying a lot of weight. It's going to suck for the time that I'm carrying it, but once I'm at camp, that's my goal. I love being at camp. So for me, it is worth it. So your mileage may vary. So other than that, thanks a lot, guys, for sticking around with us. Another great one.
Yeah.
I totally didn't expect us to have walls when we got here. Even though we did on previous trips, I just figured out we'll do it a little bit differently, but the snow was just perfect, and Sandra had all the cubes kind of pre-made, so it was great.
Yeah, and we ended up at the crooked tree again.
Yeah, we wanted to do something different. We had a lot of spots we could have picked, but as we were walking, looking for always the better spot, this was the better spot.
Yeah, we like this tree.
Yeah. So again, thank you again, folks. We're probably gonna shut her down pretty soon, so we'll let you guys. What are we gonna let them do?
Wait to see what's gonna happen tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that was a horrible segue on my part. But anyway, we're probably gonna shut it down now, and we'll see you all in the morning. Too tired.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night. The fire just kicked off in there.
Two.
The other way. Oh.
Huh. It just creates an automatic draw. That's cool. The stove died after a few hours. I didn't bother keeping it going. And then it turned to rain, and then this snow, which is a heavy wet snow, and it sticks to everything. And every few minutes, giant clumps of it falls off the branches above us and drops on our tarp here with a kind of a wild racket that startles you awake. So these are pretty wild conditions. So we're probably gonna get up pretty soon and just pack up and head out because I haven't been able to sleep for a few hours. It's pretty, but it's not conducive to a full night's sleep. Hey, so this was a pretty rough night, to be honest. When the rain turned to snow, everything stuck to the tarp, and the snow was so heavy that it would push the tarp all the way down, where basically it was touching Sandra's sleeping bag in the back there. I got up and I retied everything because the cords, the straps had stretched out a bit. So I tightened everything up, and every once in a while we would kind of shake it off the top of the snow. But even once we had done that, large clump of snow would just fall en masse, and it would just land on top of this tarp, and it was such a noise that it would just scare you awake. So, and that would happen maybe once every 5 minutes. So not a lot of sleep last night. This is beautiful, but ooh, it was a rough one. What do you think, Sandra?
Get on the seconds before I get hammered. hammered by
Yeah.
snow.
Yep, it's coming. I mean, it was a fun night, but the night stay was pretty rough. We barely slept. If we got 2 hours sleep total, that's it. So, well, maybe more than that, because it was only once it started snowing. In the rain, it was fine. So we're packing up quick. We're not going to do a whole bunch more talking and right in the face.
Right in my eyes.
Yeah. So like I said, we're not going to be doing a lot more talking. We're just going to finish packing up and we're going to head out.
It's pretty though.
It is really pretty. I mean, it's worth it, but I'm looking forward to getting coffee at home. All right, folks, we're pretty much packed up. Just gotta do the walk back to the truck. I know I sounded probably a bit tired this morning because we barely slept, but it was a lot of fun. I'm really glad we did this. Last night around that little stove worked out better than we expected.
Yeah, it was really comfortable.
So the conditions were more severe than we expected, and it created some challenges of trying to sleep, but all in all, we had a great time. We're sure going to be trying to get it some other time. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we hope to see you again soon. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.